Hugh, let's do this all-time combined 11. Spurs v Arsenal, Premier League. Let's do all-time in the Premier League. We'll go 4-3-3. In goal, obviously, we're going to put forward Hugo Lloris. Who are you putting forward?
Have you got any keepers who have won a World Cup? Oh, you do? Well,
wait. Are we talking about
Emi Martinez.
Are we talking about their international accomplishments, or are we talking about the Premier League?
As a player, as how they've done as a player in their career.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Yeah, I think do you know what? Right, the thoughts that you told me we were going to do in 11, so I've had a little think about it, right? But my 11 was actually not just for Premier League era. That was how I was going to bring your guys in.
Okay.
Unfortunately, if we're doing Premier League era, there's going to be... I'll give you two players.
I did. I got in 5.
Let's see, mate. Who's your goalkeeper?
He's an Arsenal man, obviously. I'm choosing here, I would say across the board, on more than trophies and stats, and I'm giving you my favourites. Okay? These are players who I believe they're what I would consider to be True Ballers FC squadron leaders. True Ballers FC is an elite unit of truly world-class, entertaining, iconic dons, and there are 2 Tottenham players in that list.
Are we getting the goalkeeper?
Sorry, I'll choose Jens Lehmann for my goalkeeper. I could have gone Seaman, but I've seen him get lobbed by from the halfway line and all that. So I'm just
Jens Lehmann, isn't he the man that bottled a Champions League final?
No,
sent off.
No, that's called UEFA Lona. Yeah, UEFA Lona. One of the worst refereeing decisions ever. Change again. Yeah. Why are we going back to these horrendously horrific moments? I choose Lehmann.
I thought they were quite beautiful moments for me to.
Lehmann's the only keeper who's known for diving in terms of simulation.
Yeah, I've never seen that from another goalkeeper.
An entertaining goalkeeper like no other. I once saw him actually urinate in a bottle. Game was going on. He's a character. I like a character. He's also happens to be an invincible and, one of the most underrated Arsenal legends out there. I think goalkeepers actually go largely unspoken for, but
can we have a keeper in our 11 who should be done for public indecency?
Definitely not.
Yeah, an entertaining character and my favourite of our era, basically.
Is he better than Lloris?
Yeah, I would say so. He's more commanding and more vocal.
He's definitely more commanding and vocal. I'll give him that. Was he a better goalkeeper? Definitely not better reflexes.
Captain and also leader. He was a leader. Lloris, captain of the team.
Club and country.
Longevity.
Yeah, I don't think.
World Cup winning captain.
I don't think Lehmann hung around long enough to sort of stink the place out. That's one thing. And that sort of detracts slightly from Ugo's claims to this spot. But put it to the people. What do they think?
Lehmann or Lloris? Whatever.
I'll probably I think it is Lehmann, to be fair, but
okay.
We'll sneak some others in there. Don't you worry about that. We'll give you Lehmann in goal. Right. Let's go right back.
I think we got this one.
I think we definitely got this one. Who are you putting forward as right back?
Oh, you go first. Who's definitely got this one?
Kyle Walker.
One of the best right backs in Premier League history.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
In fact, in most people's all-time Premier League lineup, he's the right back.
Yeah, 100%. Kyle Walker is better than anyone that you can put forward.
Yeah, well, I said I'd give you 2 players. Kyle could be one of them. Kyle can be one of your players. I think his record basically is exemplary. However, didn't really come alive until he left Tottenham, to be fair.
Nah, well, he got that move off Man City because of what he did for Tottenham.
He was starting for England when he was.
I think he's actually one of the players that Pep Guardiola could say completely transformed their fortunes and improved.
I don't think Walker's been a different player to what he was at Tottenham. Really? He's just been in a better team.
Right. Agreed.
He was very good at Tottenham. Very good.
Okay. No, look. Maybe your Kyle Walker can have it. I mean,
who'd you say it? Lauren, yeah, exactly.
A lot of people would say Lauren. Yeah, I can understand. Look, and I do want to be fair. I'm going to give you two players.
No, wait. It's not being fair. It's just like, it's obvious Walker's better than Lauren. It's not like, is that a debate? You wouldn't.
Physicality.
Are you saying Lauren? Are you saying Lauren would be a shout for being one of the best right backs in Premier League history? Is that what you're saying?
Do you know what? It's one of the weakest spots, right, for Arsenal legacy. I think actually, it's quite.
Why is this so hard for you just to give it to Walker? Why are you?
Well, no, it's not that. It's not that. I haven't not given it to Walker. I'm just discussing the matter, right?
Okay, go on.
I just think it's quite possible that if he wins one Premier League trophy, Jurrien Timber will be put up there with Arsenal's greatest right backs ever, and that to go and find someone who's sort of on that level, I actually think you need to go back to like Pat Rice. Pat Rice has got like double winner, 500 odd games. And if we're talking about what else they've done, he then goes on to be another double winner, and he's instrumental in what Arsene Wenger's building. So
who's like the second best in Arsenal in the Premier League for Arsenal? Was it like Hector Bellerin? Is that how he is? Bakary Sagna, yeah.
No, it would be Sagna, yeah. It would be Sagna.
Wow.
But I actually would say that you can have Walker, but what I am going to have to do is I'm going to have to subtract one of my original two choices, because only two get in, right? It was difficult enough, but you just made it easier, okay?
So in your mind, before you came on, you had Lauren at right back?
No. I didn't actually think about this like that. I'm going off, I'm freestyling. But I've got two Tottenham players who I think it's essential if they're Premier League era. Do you know what? If it wasn't Premier League era, I would have put three Tottenham players in the team.
Okay.
Because I think Greaves has to be in there. He has to be in there.
Maybe we should extend it.
What about Hoddle? You're not going to Glenn Hoddle?
We're obviously no. Well, I mean, in our lifetime, absolutely not. And potentially he's bench. He's bench.
Gazza's bench.
No, Hoddle is bench. My two originals would have been Paul Gascoigne and Gareth Bale. Those would have been my two.
And Jimmy Greaves, you're saying?
Well, Greaves, if we're doing, non-Premier League era, yeah.
Well, Gazza wasn't for Spurs in the Premier League.
Well, in my lifetime, I'm calling that Premier League.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the centre-backs. And you're not allowed to mention one name, that's for sure. But
right. I mean, he gets in, doesn't he, really?
Nah, no chance.
I'll start with, I mean, there's no... In my lifetime...
Just for his recent delusional take, he said he's faster than Van der Ven.
This guy is like the most deluded man in football, seriously.
Sol Campbell is arguably very close at least to Van der Ven. He's one of the fastest centre-backs we've ever seen.
Has he ever done what Van der Ven did against Copenhagen? I've never seen him do that.
Or against Manchester United.
I think that's one of the best goals a defender has ever scored.
Yeah.
Freakish goal. He is actually... He's capable of doing that as well. I know that because he's done it, but he's clearly capable of these crazy runs, banging it from distance, dangerous from set pieces. He's great. It's just silly to compare him to like Sol. But before I go to the other side, I start. Tony Adams is my number one choice. I still take him over the current day who are being elevated to their level without actually having achieved anything really. So until they do, they're not in the conversation entirely for me, despite the fact that they look to be maybe best centre-back partnership in world football right now. Tony Adams all day long, for what he achieved, for who he is, for how long he stayed, for everything he stood for the way that he did it. He just embodied everything that I sort of expect from an Arsenal player. So that's my first choice. I don't know how else but to do this, guys, as well. But it's one of the greatest signings in Premier League history. It's one of the most iconic moments, bringing him out, surprise press conference. It's, you know, seismic in what it meant for the power shift and the real dominance that was about to ensue. Sol Campbell has to be in there for what he represents. For the rivalry.
Represents
no
loyalty in the game. What he represents.
There is no loyalty in the game, man.
The
there
worst
is
of
none.
football he represents.
Literally the worst of the worst, that man. No morals. No morals whatsoever. Seriously, he is the most disgusting Judas I've ever come across. Ledley King.
He's the biggest Judas in football history.
By far.
I think.
By
I
far.
don't think you can ever really get worse
um,
than that.
Yeah, I would say Figo is up there as well, but it's definitely one of the most controversial moves ever, for sure.
Figo wasn't the captain of Barcelona, and he didn't walk out on his contract to leave on a free.
After saying he's going to stay.
Oh, look, I feel your pain. However, it's one of the most entertaining moments in the show that is this game. It beggars belief that they had the audacity to do it. The fact that he lied barefaced to everybody as well, with the smirk on his face, and then went on to achieve what he did with Arsenal. It's powerful stuff, man. And I get the hatred. I really do understand it. It's it's something that must have been really difficult to sort of hold yourself.
Let's forget about him for a second. What I'm putting forward is Ledley King, and it's got to be one of Jan or Toby for the other one.
Ledley King, look, incredibly high ceiling, but never got there because of the knees, and as a result, it's just.
But even when he was playing at an insanely high level. Thierry Henry said the comments on him that he said, the most hardest defender he's ever had to face. I thought Ledley King, both feet, speed, awareness, defensive capability, he had everything. He literally had everything, Ledley. And if it wasn't for those knees, he would. I genuinely believe he would have been considered as one of England's best ever centre backs.
Darren Bent, who played with him, said he should have played.
Yeah. That is a hypothetical that I do hear quite a lot.
Do you agree with it?
Not entirely, if I'm honest, because it didn't happen, did it? It's pure delusion. It's hope, and it is. Look, if I'm being honest, it is being charitable to a guy who was clearly extremely talented, like way beyond, in terms of physicality, reading of the game. You're up there, no doubt, with what we saw, but we never really saw the best of him as well. So I actually think. There's no way that you can actually take either of the two centre-back spots. It's not going to happen. Ledley doesn't get in.
Arsenal, I'm just looking, Arsenal statistically have never had a better defensive season than Jan and Toby had.
Well, there you go. So we're getting Jan and Toby in there.
If we're going by facts, right? If we're going by facts.
And what better partnership as well, mate?
They've had the best partnership.
Belgium, Tottenham.
Arsenal have ever done that.
Even in the famous undefeated season.
Statistics would also put, Gabriel and Saliba or the Arsenal defence ahead of, I think, any other defence in Arsenal's history over the last 100 years at least. So,
but not Jan and Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that they get in, man.
Look, let me put it out there straight away. Like, in good conscience, I can never put Judas in this team. He's never, ever going to get in this team. So we got to scrap him.
We got to scrap him. No, look, it hurts me to put any Tottenham player in this team, really, because in my lifetime, how old are you guys?
Too old to mention.
Too old to... Oh, it's like that. Oh, we're hiding it.
No, I'm 36.
Okay. Well, I'm older than you, right? And
how much older? How much older are we talking?
A few years.
Oh, is that how we're rolling?
A few years. I look younger than I am. I'll say that. But when I was young, Tottenham were good. They were good. You know, I grew up watching Paul Gascoigne, and I've seen exciting moments where Tottenham looks like they were a thing. You know, the additions of Jurgen Klinsmann, Ginola, you know, Darren Anderson, the hope that he had. Yeah,
we were terrible at that era, though, like the late 90s, mid-90s.
I would actually say that was when you were involved in, you know, deep into cup competitions. You were an entertaining side. You were, and this is before the real sort of, you know, the upward trajectory really of Arsenal becoming a super club had fully happened. Tottenham are on the cusp, I think, of being much bigger than they are. The stadium is the key to that. And the fact that you're in, again, the heart of London will always mean, in my opinion, that you're going to be high up on potential top players, you know, want to go to lists. However, the difference between the very top and the people that are trying to battle for top four and whatnot, it's unbelievable. I actually think Arsenal are still in the process of getting there. We're in the conversation. We're being touted as favourites for the Premier League and the Champions League simultaneously by all the bookies, Opta, everybody. But to truly be involved in the conversation with the elites, you have to have a history of winning trophies, the biggest trophies. And as a result, we're just on the cusp ourselves. So these two teams are perfectly placed to be in the conversation, to dominate football. Arsenal are just much closer right now. These are the cold, hard facts. And in the 11s, over the Premier League era, you know, the likes of Henry and all of those who were involved in, you know, double winnings, getting to Champions League finals or invincibles, they have to be talked about. What Pochettino did with Tottenham, again, brings you into the conversation. But until we start winning the elite stuff, I actually don't think, you know, either team really are there yet. Arsenal have got work to do on the stadium to really capitalise, to modernise. You know, Tottenham's it actually embarrasses. It's the one, you know, that's the one thing you've got over us, I believe. I think Arsenal have a superior manager, superior players, superior squad. Sorry, superior starting 11, superior squad, superior PR, superior merch.
It's not the only thing, though, is it?
The stadium, it has the potential to put you in the elite status, but you're just not there.
But that's not the only thing we have over you.
Can be playing at the top.
What else have you got over us?
Well, we've spoken about it all stream, mate.
Oh, the European
pedigree.
Heritage.
3 European trophies to 1. Okay, all right, cool. But then we can do, 14 FA Cups to 8. We can do 13 league titles. How many league titles you got? You got 2 league titles and you're talking to us about trophies.
No, you're looking at it wrong, Q. You're looking at it like FA Cup league. It's domestic and it's European. You're winning domestic and we're winning European. That's it. That's how it goes.
Okay, does it not?
Yeah, but you could go to all this. You said we had one thing over you, but it's not one thing because we've got European success over you and the stadium over you. But who's that centre back?
Sol Campbell.
Nah, come on, man. It's not happening. It's not happening. I mean, the guy, nah.
Saliba's much better than Sol Campbell, anyway.
I mean, I don't agree at all. I don't agree at all. Sorry. I don't agree. Sorry. Tidier on the ball for sure. Technically a better footballer, yeah. Is he as good in the air? Not a chance. Is he as physical? Not a chance. Is he as fast? Not a chance. Is he as committed? Potentially, but he's just more aesthetically pleasing. He's absolutely not in any way, shape or form more productive, more aggressive. Like Sol Campbell's like he's like 1.5 times the size of Saliba alone. Like
I think we can agree on Tony Adams and Ledley King. Let's just move on.
Ledley, one knee and he's better than Sol.
Exactly, he's better than him with one knee.
I mean, if this was a game where we were ranking things on loyalty points, then for sure.
Loyalty comes into it. All right, left back.
Yeah, let's move on quickly before he can mention anything about him again. Go on, who's your left back?
World class, in his prime, best in the world. Obviously, we're doing what they've achieved elsewhere as well, so it's an easy shout. It's Ashley Cole all day long, and there is no debate. There is no debating.
I don't think there is a debate on this because the best Premier League left back we can put forward is Danny Rose. So Danny Rose against Ashley Cole.
I mean, look, if you were trying to squeeze a player in, and that player for me has to be Gareth Bale, then as long as you don't say he's the left back, we can get him in the team, basically. Because obviously, you know, starting out, it looks like much like Bukayo Saka, actually, that was where he was going to end up playing. But yeah,
we don't need to change Bale's position to get him in.
No, let's put Ashley Cole at left back. Let's put Ashley Cole at left back.
Cashley Cole, you're comfortable putting him in. Cashley Cole, you don't hold anything against him.
I actually think that people have got that story very wrong. Ashley Cole was promised something, and the club broke that promise, and they risked everything for, you know, some small, measly amount of money. And he had the backbone to be able to stand up for himself and say, you know, how dare you be dishonest with me when I've given you everything. So it's one of the biggest mistakes I think we've made. I think players from the team at that time, including Henry, have spoken out on how he was perfectly happy to sign the deal that they'd offered him, and when he turned up, it was a different conversation, different numbers, and as a result, they lost out on one of the most talented to have ever done it. Yeah, it's actually a massive, massive error that for me, so I've got no problems putting him in.
Okay, so that's the back line. In terms of the midfield, go to the defensive midfielder first.
Wait. Oh, okay, right. Because I'm doing 4-4-2. What are you doing?
We did 4-3-3.
You can do 4-4-2.
We can do 4-4-2 if you want.
4-3-3 makes my life a little bit difficult.
That's what we like to do on North London Derby weekend, mate.
4-3-3, tricky. I'm going to need a 4-4-2 because I need two up top.
4-4-2 helps us.
Does it?
I think so.
All right, if you both want to do 4-4-2, we'll do 4-4-2.
4-4-2, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I'm looking at 4.
All right.
No doubts.
All right. 4-4-2.
Another 4.
Let's start off with the two central midfielders.
Okay. One of them we're definitely getting. There's no doubt about it. 100%.
Who, Modric?
Luka Modric. You can't not have Luka Modric in there. I think we can all agree.
Luka Modric.
Ballon d'Or winning central midfielder. Was incredible at Tottenham as well.
Moussa Dembele.
Modric is one of the best midfielders of all time, let alone Premier League.
Which one are you go? Are those your two?
Modric and Dembele would be our two, yeah.
Those would be your two. So you would choose those two midfielders over any that you've seen in your lifetime at Arsenal?
I'm saying Modric, definitely.
Changed my mind already.
If I had to choose two from both clubs, I would choose Modric and Vieira. That's what I would choose.
Well, okay, right. Well, let's start with the common ground that we've got there then. Vieira has to be in the team. It's just silly not to. He's, you know, arguably the best midfielder the Premier League's ever seen, most complete.
He's decent.
And whilst I think the game has, you know, moved on, there are certain men that would be able to dominate across eras, and he is one of them. Modric, I think you've got a shout. He's clearly one of the best to ever do it. Again, it is one of those players who goes on to achieve their great things elsewhere, which doesn't discount him from being in the conversation. But you know, I think
playing in a double pivot with Tom Huddleston for his career. He had to cover all that ground. He had
don't disgrace Tom Huddleston, mate. Tom Huddleston was brilliant.
He couldn't run. Modric had to dominate midfield next to someone like Huddleston.
In his defence, Tom Huddleston is one of the cleanest strikers of a football I've ever seen.
100%. 100%.
Not every
barely
footballer
move.
can kick a football properly. I'll tell you that.
No, I agree with that. He had a great strike on him.
What technique that man had.
Modric had to dominate midfields when Huddleston was like barely moving. He was just standing there. Like he was incredible. There's a reason why Madrid came in for him while he was at Tottenham, because he was a world-class talent at Tottenham as well.
Who are you putting ahead? Who are you arguing ahead of Modric?
I mean, I think Cesc Fabregas has to be in the conversation at least. You know, if we're talking about what they've achieved, apart from what they did at the clubs that we are entertaining, it's without question, he's one of the most successful footballers of all time. Just being involved in that Spanish setup, which, you know, has dominated across Europe and the world, never mind
Modric
La
got to a
Liga.
World Cup final with Croatia.
Yeah, but again, if you're talking about nearly men, you know, you got to get over the line, buddy. It's all about...
Okay, how many Champions Leagues he got? 6?
Yeah, you know, he is a Real Madrid man, isn't he? He's an icon of Real Madrid, really, not Tottenham.
Okay, Fabregas. How many trophies did Fabregas win for Arsenal?
So, like, whilst I'm putting Gareth Bale into my conversational 11, that is strictly on what he's achieved with Real Madrid. It is the success that comes with being a Madridista. They are, a different entity when it comes to winning. So, you know, it's very easy to just, we could start talking about a whole bunch of players.
But you're saying Fabregas should go ahead of Modric because he won more, but he didn't win more at Arsenal. And Modric didn't win much at Tottenham, but Modric was incredible.
He did set the light. He did set the league alight as a teenage sensation. You know, who grew to a man in front of our eyes whilst doing it all, and really took the mantle from Patrick Vieira.
Modric came from Zagreb, playing on cut-up pitches, was an unknown quantity. Came to Tottenham. We'd never played Champions League football before. He dragged us to top 4. Got 2 top 4 finishes, and then we got on big move to Real Madrid and became one of the best midfielders of all time, winning a Ballon d'Or.
And those are fine achievements, but do they outweigh what Cesc has done? You know,
massively. What do you mean? How is it not?
Well, being
was Cesc ever in a conversation for a Ballon d'Or?
I mean, probably not, but that's due to the generation of players that he was surrounded by, you know, more than anything. Doesn't take away from the unbelievable accolades he has achieved in his career, which include, you know, all the big trophies that a player can win. You know, we're talking about a player who had done it all and came back to the Premier League and scooped it up again. It's someone who is changing the game right now as a manager, who clearly sees the game differently. And I'm not sure that Modric's impact at Tottenham warrants, you know, this conversation being anything but what they've achieved elsewhere. Whereas I think Cesc really, you know, took the mantle from a player who we've said is a shoo-in for one of these positions. So to do that as a teenager, again in the Premier League as an unknown, is in the manner that he did it as well. I just think it's silly not to have him in. The goals that he scored against Tottenham alone, I'd take him for.
I just don't see the argument for Fabregas over Modric being a viable one. I know Fabregas was a brilliant player, don't get me wrong. Unbelievable talent, unbelievable player, won so much in his career. But when you look at both players' career, it's clear that just one is above the other, and that is Luka Modric above Cesc Fabregas for solely what they've done in their career. Surely. Luka Modric is going to go down
based on the trophies. Is that what you're saying?
No, just based on just generally what their whole career trajectory has been. And I think Luka Modric has gone down as one of the best. He's still playing, by the way, at 40 and running midfields in Italy. He is going to go down as probably...
I think that says more about Serie A than anything. Personally.
Yeah, maybe. But, you know, he's going to go down as one of the best midfielders to ever play the game alongside the Javis and Iniestas.
So is Cesc Fabregas.
But not on that level. Not on that level. Not on that level.
Oh, you're clueless.
What do you mean? He's going to go down alongside Iniesta and Xavi, Fabregas, you think?
Sorry?
You think he's going to go down alongside Iniesta and Xavi as one of the best centre mids of all time?
Cesc Fabregas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's one of the most creative midfielders of all time.
So what if he was that good? Why didn't Barca keep him?
Who again is like one of the very few players who's literally won it all. Why didn't Barcelona keep him?
They were ready to get rid of him. They wanted. He was only there for what, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, and they wanted rid of him.
Yeah, and they gave him the dream, and the dream was achieved, and then we moved on.
I guess
they were trying to shoo him in to, a team which he didn't really fit in from the beginning.
Because he wasn't as good as the other players. He was good, but he wasn't as good. Unlike Modric, who was a mainstay for Madrid for many years.
I don't think there's any shame in not being in the starting lineup when Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta are the competition. He's also been, a part of them, their success during that period whilst playing completely out of position. So I think that's to his credit, to be honest.
But Modric was a mainstay in that Madrid team for well over a decade, won multiple Champions Leagues, even got to a World Cup final and a World Cup semi-final with a very small nation in Croatia, who are not known for getting anywhere near that level when it comes to international football. This isn't Spain, who have won lots of trophies, and they're a very, very big footballing nation where the likes of Madrid and Barcelona play. Look at who plays in the Croatian league. Like Dinamo Zagreb are the best team. This is a monumental achievement to get as far in competitions as Modric did at international level as captain as well, and what he did for Real Madrid. This guy is literally a phenomenon. He's one of a kind, someone like Luka Modric. Playing for also a midfielder like his kind of height, playing at central midfield, not like as a kind of 10 or like Fabregas did, like kind of a hybrid. This guy was like a double pivot right in the thick of it, but wasn't out-muscled. Used his diminutive figure to kind of beat players incredibly. Never got outshone while playing central midfield. While playing alongside a midfield like Toni Kroos.
It's a much more demanding role physically, I would say, but actually Ces's physicality is quite underrated, but that isn't his main output and not the way that he shined. Modric is not the main creative source for Real Madrid. You're talking about another Arsenal player.
Fabregas wasn't the main for Barca.
I was talking about him as an Arsenal player. I think.
Okay, for Arsenal he was. To be fair,
if we're doing the type of player he was at Barca, we should be doing the type of player he was at Chelsea as well, and the type of player he was for Spain, which is a creative outlet who, will have made a lot more men careers. There's people at Real Madrid anyway who are sort of. The club would have been more dependent on being the main creative outlets. Modric's a facilitator. It's a lot of tidy work being done. But
that's what you need in a 4-4-2.
True.
Yeah, but in terms of artistic expression, in terms of free-flowing creativity, in terms of doing the unexpected, I think Fabregas's career speaks for itself in that manner as to who is the superior in that manner. For sure, Modric has his pros. I don't think anything should be taken away from Fabregas because he isn't playing though. That's a complete career, injuries, and also a desire to get into management, which he's already proven to be quite a success in.
Yeah,
I think if you swap their internationally, I don't think Fabregas could have done for Croatia what Modric did, but I think Modric could have done for Spain what Fabregas did.
I mean. Yeah, you are allowed to believe that. You are allowed to believe that. What I remember of Cesc Fabregas is he was a literal child who was making men look amateur from the day that he stepped onto the pitch for Arsenal. And he took the captain's armband from Vieira and led the club through some pretty crazy times and was part of one of the most attractive styles of football that I've seen in my era. So, look, I don't think he's not my favourite midfielder, Cesc. I would have Ozil above Cesc, but again, that's personal preference. It's another conversation. But, a guy who, if we're talking about who is capable of taking their country to the top or has achieved it on the international stage or was doing things for Real Madrid, making careers out of Cristiano Ronaldo, we have plenty of those. Being the sort of type of manager that Arsene was, we've been blessed to see so many talented midfielders. Like I would say if I was choosing a midfielder on technical ability, I would choose Santi Cazorla over any of the players we've mentioned on this podcast so far tonight, or this stream tonight. Way above Luka Modric's ability in his little finger. His weak foot was better than Modric's strong foot.
Nah, you're nuts. You're nuts. You're crazy.
I mean, it's just my opinion. He's otherworldly in terms of his ability. Low center of gravity helps, but he could do it all. Dribbling, first touch, shooting, dead balls, like just an understanding of the physics of a football way superior to others. In the same way that Dennis Bergkamp had, it just sets you apart. Don't get me wrong, what Modric has done is he's mastered the simplicity of the modern game. He's essential and integral to keeping things going. The get it and give it type mentality, but that doesn't excite me as much as a Cesc or an Ozil or a Cazorla, so he wouldn't have a chance of getting in mine.
How are we going to settle this? Because we need to move on.
I think the one, so who has a Ballon d'Or? I think that's how you settle it. That's how you settle it.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or, fixed nonsense, isn't it?
Okay.
So we saw Henri robbed. I've just seen Dembele win the Ballon d'Or, and you're expecting me to take it seriously. Dembele, who's winning the Ballon d'Or for what was it? A Champions League?
Yeah.
A Champions League. Right. So a Champions League in which, how many times did PSG lose in the Champions League last season?
I think once.
A few.
Yeah. Well,
five
times.
Lost 5 times. So we've given the Ballon d'Or to a player who was part of a team who went on to win a knockout tournament, which they lost 5 times in. Absolute nonsense. The Ballon d'Or winner is, in my eyes, although the best player in the world right now is a child. Again, we're talking about a teenager who should have been credited for carrying his country and club to,
So why did Modric not deserve it?
My place in the starting lineup.
No, why didn't he deserve the Ballon d'Or?
Oh no, I'm just saying that it's a flawed way of judging a player's ability.
But you're saying it's flawed, but why didn't he deserve it?
Mate, I can't even remember what year he won it in, so I couldn't actually.
He won the Champions League and got to a World Cup final.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not bad.
there is probably a reason. There is probably a reason.
No
Who was in the team?
Right.
Who was in the team at the time that they won that Champions League trophy? Who was up top? Was it Benzema?
Benzema, Ronaldo, yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Bale. No.
Why are these guys not winning it ahead of him? I don't know.
Because he was the most important player, his
No.
peers. He was the most important player in the team.
No, I don't believe that.
That's what all the European football experts say.
I believe you're talking about 2017-18.
Yeah.
And for me, the reason that he was included or given that was the World Cup run with Croatia.
That helps.
I do personally have the opinion that the World Cup should be given, more credits in terms of these arguments. I think it's the most difficult to win, but you have to have the lottery ticket, I guess, of having the passport to be in the right country. So it's tricky, but.
All right, look. Vieira Modric.
Vieira Modric. Left wing.
Sacrilege. I can't believe we've left out the likes of Ozil.
Don't talk to me about Ozil. Look, we're moving on.
Arsenal. I thought Arsenal fans hated Ozil.
I mean, Ozil. This is what I mean. I'm not an Arsenal fan like that. I'm my own person. Ozil he's just one of my favourite players ever. Creatively, visionary.
So Ozil left wing?
You want Ozil left wing?
I'd take him anywhere. I'd take him on the pitch. Anyone on the pitch. No, I'm not taking him on the left wing. I would have put him in midfield, obviously, but it's difficult. We're playing a 4-4-2.
It's your idea for a 4-4-2.
But Ozil, mate, one day people will look back on Mesut Ozil a similar level or the same way that they do Zidane. You will see.
I'll tell you right now, Hugh, that Eriksen did more in the Premier League than Ozil. He did. Eriksen is so disrespected, man, when talking about 10s in the Premier League.
No. Yeah, look, there are a few players who you've had along the way who it's been undeniable their quality. Christian Eriksen is one of those, for sure. Who else? Let me just go through some other players. Who else have I sort of thought along the way? I've told you about Ginola, Klinsmann, Anderton was quite good. Gascoigne was unbelievable. Gascoigne is one of the best.
Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham, fantastic player. Yeah.
What are we doing? We're just naming good times.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of people who could actually be in the conversation that I haven't mentioned.
Let's think of left wing though.
Yeah, go put who you
There's
put for left
there's
wing.
only one guy that gets in the team.
Yeah, I agree. There is only one guy that gets in this team.
There's actually a few players that can get in this team. You've got the likes of David Ginola. You've got the likes of Son Heung-min.
Sonny.
You've got the likes of Gareth Bale.
No, Bale we're using saving for the right.
Okay.
Now, the greatest British export in the history of the game, certainly in my lifetime.
Who, Gareth Bale?
Yeah, without question. Yeah.
No, we need him for the right.
I'll take him on the left.
No, and we need him for the right. Left's for someone else.
Son Heung-min.
Sonny.
No, that's not going to work for me.
It works for me. It works for us, I think. Doesn't it?
Let's talk about it combined then. Let's talk about left wing and right wing together, right? Who's your right winger?
Saka, probably.
Is it Saka?
Arsenal's greatest right winger ever.
In the Prem?
Yeah.
I mean, I find it quite difficult to put people in the team that haven't won the league, because I've seen people that have won it, and as a result of them being the best of their moment, it is impossible for them to better that. And I find it very difficult when comparing eras to put, players who haven't done that over them. Otherwise, I would have had, the likes of Gabriel. I actually think Gabriel, for example, is a better defender than Saliba. And as a result, he probably would have got in the conversation. But because he hasn't done it like others have, it's tricky. So I don't know if I can put Saka in. I actually don't.
So who are you putting in?
You're talking about the right wing. I'm still on the left.
Put a player forward for both. Who's your best left winger and best right winger?
I'm choosing Gareth Bale for left wing. That's who I'm going for.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you were to choose an Arsenal player for the left wing, who would it be?
Probably Henry. I'd take Henry on the left.
On the left?
You don't want to put him up front?
No, Bergkamp will be up top. I'd probably say Harry Kane in a 2. And for that reason, I need the left for Henry if I'm doing that. So I'm trying to squeeze Bale in somewhere, and it's probably best on the left.
For me, it'd be, if you're going like that, I would say Bale on the right, Sonny on the left with Kane and Henry up top.
Yeah, that's what I would have gone.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why?
Okay, right. Look, there's an asterisk to me doing this, right? You can have a couple players, but I need a couple players in. Right?
You got your fair share.
No, hold on. I'm happy to talk, right? I'm happy to talk and discuss and debate. If we're going to have a conversation where Dennis Bergkamp doesn't get into the Premier League best Arsenal, North London, Tottenham 11, it's a waste of our time. Okay? If you don't understand football, or if you're not willing to go back and watch, if you weren't around when he was playing, it's fine. But there's no player that I've ever watched in the league, and I'll include Santi in that, who understands the physics, momentum of a football and the game, and has the efficiency in their technical quality to deliver magical moments over and over again, or just to control the spell over the ball, than Dennis Bergkamp. There's no point in having the conversation if he doesn't get in the team, full stop. Right. I refuse to not have him in. I will delete someone else if necessary, but if he doesn't get in, it doesn't make any sense to me.
But we can't shoehorn.
So would you put Bergkamp over Henry?
He's okay. I'll put it like this: he's at least on the same level, at the very least, because he's a far superior technical footballer. Far superior. Physicality, we're talking totally different animals, and that makes the conversation different.
But you can't say I
iconic
can't
status and
sit and say
impact
that
across the
Bergkamp
club.
was better than Harry Kane. Kane
Bergkamp's a
has a
much
touch
better
of
footballer than Harry
Bergkamp.
Kane. Bergkamp's a much better
Kane has a
footballer
touch of
than
the
Harry
Bergkamps of him.
Sorry?
Plus the 30 goals.
Say that again.
Kane has a touch of Bergkamp about him, plus 30 goals a season.
Kane's, for me, you know, one of the best players in world football.
Exactly.
That does not mean he can hold a torch to Dennis Bergkamp at all. Not in his wildest dreams would he ever be able to.
200 and what? 20 Premier League goals would say he can, I would say.
No, he's an incredible goal scorer, man. Great finisher. Great understanding of the game. He's a
playmaker. And he's a brilliant playmaker.
He can play in the 10. Fantastic.
Did Bergkamp ever get 4 assists in a game? I don't know that.
I think Bergkamp on technical ability alone, but I think when you take the whole package in terms of goals, assists, everything, Kane surely is better than Bergkamp.
No, but this is not a Kane versus Bergkamp for the lineup spot, bro. That's not a thing. That's not how this works. I told you. The deal is this. Bergkamp gets in, and then everything else we can discuss. If you don't have Bergkamp in the team, it's meaningless to me. Doesn't make sense. I'm telling you that it's my opinion.
But we can't allow Bergkamp.
You can't allow him.
Well, unless you're saying he's above Henry, because we're having Kane.
No, I need to put Henry on the left then. That's what I said. I've never seen a footballer who's got more control over a football than Bergkamp. How can I not put him in my all-time 11? Doesn't make sense, bro.
Well, I guess the only fair way to do it is like the guy says in the comments, unfortunately, which is Henry on the left, Bale on the right, Bergkamp and Kane up front.
But then you're shoehorning Henry into position. He wasn't really a left winger.
He was like a left forward, wasn't he?
He was a striker.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. No,
he kind of started as a left and drifted in.
Actually started on the left.
He started, but his best football for Arsenal was up front. If you were to put, if you play 4-4-2, if you
ask Henry, if
Sky Sports were doing their graphics for the Arsenal lineup, do they put him on the left or up front in their 4-4-2 formation? If Arsenal got a lineup, they say,
I don't watch that.
That's where they play. He plays up front. And where did Pires play then? Where did Pires play if Henry's a left winger?
Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if I'm going to be able to get Bergkamp in the team, and it means
be shoehorning players in positions they weren't playing.
I mean, I feel like I'm doing that with Gareth Bale.
Right, Bale played on the right.
I'd prefer him on the left.
Cutting into his best season for Tottenham was off the right.
I think he's a more dangerous player off the left.
What? What do you mean? Did you see all the goals he was scoring cutting inside off the right? Are you mad?
No, I mean, again, personal opinion. He was
unstoppable that year. That's why he got a world record transfer fee based off his performances off the right.
Yeah, I just believe that he's more effective off the left in the modern game, especially. But again, like, I've got no qualms about Bale being in the team. I've told you he's one of my 2 selections. But this is all pointless if Bergkamp doesn't get in the team. We have to get rid of someone. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense, bro. There's not been a player who has the technical ability like this since. There's not been one. This is a guy who grew up, right, the same way that I did, kicking a ball against a wall 40,000 times. You got to put in your 40,000 hours before you can talk to us.
Okay, but this is a very high bar.
It is a very high bar. It is a very high bar. It's a very high bar.
And we're not sure.
You think it's not a high bar? Listen, right, we talked a minute ago about Tom Huddleston striking a football. Yeah. We know not all players can kick a football properly. And you're trying to tell me that the bar isn't actually that high. The bar is very high to be able to be a technical.
I'm saying I feel like we just want to shoehorn Henry on the left just so we can fit in Bergkamp. But I think at the end of the day, the reality is Henry was a striker. Sonny for me is the left winger. Bale's the right winger. I think, and Kane is partners Henry. I don't think that's why. You're
trying to shoehorn Son in whatever you can.
Why am shoehorning Son? He was a left winger. He's won a goal.
I hear you. We will have to
talk
agree. We will have to agree to disagree.
If we want to just keep players in their natural position, then he's right. If we want to kind of say Henry started on the left, so he can play on the left, we'll put him on the left. But if you want to keep players in their natural position or the positions which they made their name in proper, then Sonny's on the left and Henry and Kane are up front.
I mean, that's not true. It's just not true. Thierry Henry was playing on the left for Monaco when he wasn't true, bro. It wasn't true.
I'm saying for Arsenal where he proper made his name.
You know, but hold on a second. We've been doing careers. You're talking about Ballon d'Ors and Modric and whatnot, Champions Leagues. That's not Tottenham, mate.
Okay.
That's not Tottenham.
That's fine. But we're talking about Henry's best years at Arsenal. And he started off as a winger and he struggled, and then Wenger moved him up front.
No, he didn't. He didn't struggle. He was doing quite well at Monaco on the wing.
Forget Monaco. He
Forget
signed
Monaco.
for Arsenal.
What about France? What about France?
What about France? He wasn't their striker.
France, he cheated his country all the way to a World Cup, mate. That's what he did for France.
I mean, you're not Irish as well, are you?
No.
Yeah, look, play 3 up top if you need to, mate. Not interested. Bergkamp starts, right?
For me, the question is, does Bergkamp get in ahead of Henry or Kane? That's the question. And I don't think he does.
I guess that is up for debate. Yeah, that is up for debate for you, not for me. I would have Kane in there, for sure. I'd have Kane in there. But that's why I was going 4-4-2. I think it's okay for me to concede the right as well if I'm allowed to have Henry on the left. You can have Bale on the right if you want. You seem adamant about that. I need to have Bergkamp in the team. I'm adamant about that one.
I think we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
I think so. I think at this stage.
Because I think we're just going to go on forever. So,
but how many? If we go with our team, how many Spurs players is that? Walker, Modric.
So the team is Jens Lehmann in goal, Kyle Walker at right back, Ashley Cole at left back, Ledley King and Tony Adams. I think we said at centre back. Modric and Vieira in the midfield. One of Son or Henry on the left, Bale on the right, and Kane and Bergkamp up front.
6 Spurs players.
What did you say to that?
I mean, that is not my 11, but that is what you have bullied me into.
But look, I think we'll leave it there, Hugh. But thank you so much for coming on, mate. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Real fun. Good luck. You know, hope it doesn't work out, but I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, definitely see you on the other side. Are you going to the game?
I'm not, but I will be doing content for it and after it, so we are involved. Yeah.
All right.
This is,
go check out Hugh Wizzy's channel for the fallout in the North London derby on Sunday. But yeah, it was a pleasure having you on, and we'll speak soon, my friend.
Cheers
nice one, man. Take care, guys.